I'm Kalen Standwick, and today I'm going to be teaching you proper bench press form and how to increase your bench press strength. I believe I'm qualified to teach you this because when I started lifting, my max bench press was about 50 pounds, and now it's about 190. And I've studied weightlifting for a while and shadowed a personal trainer with many qualifications, including one from Westside Barbell Strength. It's important to exercise. Lifting weights might not be everyone's go-to, but for those who do enjoy it, it's important to use proper form to prevent injury. And for most people lifting weights, they want to increase their strength, mostly in their compounds, including the bench press. The bench press is called a compound movement, and this is because it uses multiple muscles from around your body, instead of just one, which would be an isolation exercise. So it uses all of your chest, your upper, middle, and lower chest. It uses your triceps, and then it uses your front delts. And it's important to know this because when you're trying to increase your strength in it, you need different exercises to isolate and target all these muscles separately so you can build a stronger strength together. Okay, let's begin with proper bench press form. For proper bench press form, there's a few things you're going to want to do and keep in mind. First thing is you're going to want your feet planted firmly on the ground so that your hips are above your legs. Second thing is that you want to arch your back slightly and tuck your shoulder blades back. So that therefore opens up the chest and allows you to use more of your chest for the exercise. Third thing you want to do is have your hands a good distance apart, about where your shoulders are, and they're on marks on the bar, which I'll show you later. And then you want your elbows to be at a 45-degree angle when you're coming down. Those are the first things about proper bench press form. Now we're going to get into our starting bench press form, and I'll show you step by step. First thing you're going to want to do is just lay down. When you're here, your eyes should be directly in line with the barbell. You're going to want to put your hands on those marks, pinkies, on the marks on the barbell, and grab it with your thumbs wrapped around it, not out. Then you're going to want to arch your back slightly, tuck your shoulder blades, and then plant your feet firmly on the ground. This is your starting bench press form. Now that you know what the starting bench press form is supposed to look like, I'll show you through the movement and how your form is supposed to be all the way through. So, you're going to want to get into your starting position, eyes below the barbell, pinkies on the marks on the bar, arch your back slightly, tuck your shoulder blades, plant your feet firmly. You're going to want to lift the bar up and over so it's over your chest, and then you want to bring it down, arms at a 45-degree angle, and then you're going to want to touch it down to the very bottom of your chest, about where your solar plexus is, and then with that you want to press with your feet and push up. And then you re-rack them. Two things to help you keep your form throughout this movement will be to keep your core tight. So squeeze your core as you're doing the movement, and also to squeeze your butt. Now that you have basic bench press form down, let's talk about some of the ways you can increase your bench press. To be stronger, it's important to stretch your muscles in different ways so they can adapt and grow stronger. Because if you do the same thing over and over again, they get used to it and they no longer break and repair the same way and will stop growing. So, to begin, one of the ways you can switch up is by using bands in your bench press. This makes the movement harder, in a sense, because when you just have the bar, it's using gravity. And so when you get towards the bottom, that's the hardest part of the movement. And then towards the top, it gets easier. That's just the way gravity works with weights. But with a band, there's constant tension on it, and so it stays the same level of difficulty throughout the entire movement. Two other ways you can differently stretch your muscles is by changing the amount of sets, reps, and weights you're using. So if you're using really heavy weights and low sets and reps, that's going to create what's called anabolic stress, which is one good way to stretch your muscles. And the other one is to have low weight and do lots of reps and sets, and that will create what is called metabolic stress. This is going to be a good example of anabolic stress because I'm using large weights and doing only a few reps. Now I'm going to show you a good example of metabolic stress, where you have very low weight and you do a bunch of reps really quickly. Before I show you that though, there is something I forgot to mention. When you're bench pressing, you have the weight up here. You want to take a deep breath in, bring it down, and then when you get down here, breathe out and explode with power. It seems like it's not that big of a deal, but it really does help when you're lifting heavier weights. Right there, I created metabolic stress. One thing that really helps increase your strength in different compound movements, and especially the bench press, is what are called isometric exercises. And these are where basically you're trying to move an immovable object. So you would load up a cable machine or the bench press or something with a ton of weight, something you could never even get close to budging. And then you're going to want to push it as hard as you can. You're going to want to try as hard as you can to move it, but you're not going to be able to. And this will create more muscle fibers that you usually don't use, and will include them in your compound movement. So isometric exercises are important. To increase your bench press strength, you can't just bench press. That won't work. You can try as much as you want, but just bench pressing will not help. You have to do different isolation exercises to target the different muscles used for your compound movement, so that they can become stronger and be stronger together. So I'll go through a couple exercises and not go through the entire forms of them, but just show you a quick demonstration of what they look like, the muscles they target, and how they're going to help. What I'm going to be showing you now is a military press that can be done with either a barbell or dumbbells. And it targets your entire delts, mainly focusing on your front delt, which is key to your bench press. Now I'll be showing you an exercise that helps target your triceps and increase their strength. So this is what's called a close grip bench press, and it's just as the name says. You're going to want to get into your standard bench press form, and then just have your arms a lot closer than they would be. This makes the movement a lot longer and forces more pressure and weight onto your triceps. See, as they come down, my arms have to move a greater distance. So I showed you a couple different exercises that you can do to increase your strength through isolation muscles that will therefore increase your strength in your compound lifts. Now that I only showed you a couple, but if you're creative enough, there is countless, and you should be switching them up because, like I said, stressing them in different ways is very important to gaining strength. Now I'll just shortly recover everything that we've gone through today. So for your proper bench press form, you want your back slightly arched with your shoulder blades tucked behind you, your feet firmly planted on the ground. You're going to want your pinkies on the marks on the bar, elbows at a 45-degree angle. And it's important, very important to remember proper breathing practices when you're benching. It really does help. And then you want to keep your core and butt tight, and that's going to really help you throughout the exercise. And then it's also really just important to remember, if you're looking to increase your strength, you have to stress your muscles in different ways, otherwise they will not grow and strengthen. So get creative and use different exercises. So with those combined, proper form, different exercises, and different training methods, you can increase your bench press strength effectively and safely. And when the gyms open back up, make sure to rewatch this video and go increase your bench press.